Hello, guys. So a lot of you have requested that I do a Pinol review, especially since the EE. So I'm going to be going down his kit, how to use him, and a few synergy that would be pretty great. So I know he can be extremely confusing. As you see, his positions bonuses are in front line, mid line, and back line. I would advise, though, using his regular best position bonus, just because he is very powerful in mid line. And in back line, you need to either micromanage or know exactly what you're doing and check Spirit Stone on opposing team for it to have a lot of value. So let's go down. Power, technique, vitality, speed. In order, it's vitality, then speed. For the way I'm going to propose to build him, this is great, but you should be aware that he will need some reflex spirit stones because, well, his technique value isn't the greatest. Let's go down. Ace, Dirty, well, nope. I love that name, by the way. Increase the reflex and max life of Dark and Thunder player. I mean, Dark Thunder is not a great idea, but if you're really going to do that, it's a pretty decent ace. Active is going to ride free, blah, blah, blah. Decrease the target reflex by 70%, also absorb spirit by 50%. The thing is that this is once every 15 minutes, so I would honestly say don't max the skill out. It's really not worth it. It's a free active, so it's not bad, but it's not worth spending 5 points. Make this the last skill you max out. Passive Soul Washing, the one that got buffed with the EE. Still 30% spirit and decrease the critical rate of enemy within the position by 15% when you move the position makes an action. An action is considered any form of movement, meaning if someone from backline comes to midline and penetrates to frontline, it will count as an action. If they pass, it counts as an action. If they block, it counts as an action. So any moment where their action bar goes to 0 in a line counts as an action, just in case there's any questions. This is very powerful and there are huge synergies, but I'm going to finish the kit before talking about all of those. Passive, spray unknown liquid, decrease the action speed by 15%, reflex by 25%, move in the position 5 minutes with an action. Now these are his actions, so it's kind of the reverse thing. Speed, reflex, this is a 50% debuff, this is really great. Speed can go to 30%, again, really great. And since with an action, if you're able to make him penetrate and move between lines, he's going to be stacking that buff to death. Now, last skill, IGN 101. Even if it doesn't sound as cool as the other skills, it's really going to complement his kit. Increase action speed by 20% and decrease incoming damage by 30%. So if you pretty much go down his kit, he's going to have, if you build him and you're able to stack, 30% speed debuff and a 20% speed buff, who honestly gives a huge advantage. He's going to have some built-in DR, he's going to have a reflex advantage, and he's going to be able to steal spirit to try to stop actives, and there's a lot of different tricks you can use. Now, how exactly would someone want to use him? Now, depending on what exactly you're trying to run, this might be a little bit different. There are a few differences between PV and PvP comps, but I'm mainly going to be focusing on PvP for this. So if you're running him in midline, the best way to run him is actually with a Celestia center mid, because if you're able to combine both of their spirit decreases, it's really great. And the thing you want to be very careful though if you're doing that is you want Pinol to be as tanky as possible. The objective is not for them to penetrate through Pinol, it's to penetrate through Celestia, and every action that they fail on the line is another stack. So you, for example, block, they try to penetrate, that's one action, they then give it to someone else tries to penetrate, that's another action. On top of it, if someone's low and they pass, that's also an action. It's going to start debuffing pretty fast because you don't generate 30% spirit with an action regularly unless they have certain spirit stones or they're running passers. In that case, you're actually just giving them spirit. It depends who you're facing. Another way to be using this, who a lot of people are really insisting that they want to try. I'm not saying no, I'm not saying yes. I'm saying that this will require a lot of micromanaging and being really good at setting everything up, but it is the idea of using him in backline to stop people from using actives. Now, of course, you might understand that this is to counter the Presti setup that people are using nowadays. They're using 2 passers to counter Presti. If you don't have Spirit, you can't use a passer. Now, at the same time, I do want to point out Gibril's a thing. The moment they have Gibril, this will not work just because Gibril generates so much Spirit that it counters this skill directly. But if we're ignoring the existence of Gibril and certain strong Spirit-generating passers, this could potentially be good. So you would need to check the stones that the people on the opposing line are running. Not to mention it would give a speed debuff, a reflex debuff, allowing you to get out of there really fast and lower the chances of them shooting. Not to forget that combined with the Celestia action bar eating and the Metatron action bar generating, there's again a huge amount of synergy possible. Now, if we're trying to build them like this, the ideas are going to be stone-wise. Whatever you do, you're pretty much going to want to calm Icicle. And yes, this is a very common stone for dark players that stack. The idea here is that you're going to increase the action speed, you're going to decrease the incoming damage when you're not holding the ball. Again, when someone's trying to penetrate you, you get more survival, you get more action speed to steal or to try a stack, who again is really great, and you get a decent 60% attack power directly from the stone, just whenever you want, who's pretty damn good because some stones are just for damage and they give a little bit more than this. So overall, this is the unique you're going to be running on him. Depending where you're placing him, the other stones might be a little bit different. If you're placing him midline, it's usually going to be a Dark Life stone, a Whirlwind Reflex stone, and another Reflex stone. You're going to try to go for speed as much as you can on the subs and DR, because the idea is he is a wall who reflexes and is fast enough to stack. Combined with this, he should be completely fine. The minute he gets his 2 stacks on, there should no longer be any reflex issues. If you're using him in backline though, you do know you're not going to be shot at, so you might maybe want to change a little bit the stones. Calm Icicle is again a great stone, so you can still use it. You can keep the Dark Life Stone, you can go for a Whirlwind Speed Stone, you could even change a Dark Life Stone for a Dark Reflex Stone, get a second Reflex Stone. It's really going to be up to you and depends how you micromanage it, but it is a little bit complicated. Again, he's going to shine the most in the Mono Dark. You can even see it from his chains where he has synergy with Damien. As a lot of you know, the normal Damien line is Damien, Armel, Ace, and Chimeras. That's going to have already a lot of reflex. With Pinol stack, it's going to allow Chimeras to steal the ball and give it back to the striker to maybe shoot a second time. So again, huge synergy in Mono Dark. Rainbow-wise, it's going to be a little bit more complicated to use it because not that many units burn Spirit. I can't really think of anyone who's not dark, and there's Miho. Miho and Hildegard. Yeah, the COD traumatized me, so I know it. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions, comments about Pinol, just write in the comments below. Have a good day, guys.